Welcome to the ripple effect of love for dads and families. And today we look at planning and gratitude that changes everything. How can that be? Well, I have a special guest that I'm excited to present to you today. And I'm Christine Bernard, stress management coach, and much more. There's too many to say. I don't want to bore you. So I will bring, without further ado, I will bring Phil Vetrano up here with me. Thank you, Phil. I'm so excited to have you on the show.
And I'm truly grateful for you, Christine. Thanks for having me on your show. The ripple effect of love is wonderful for dads.
And why do you say that?
Oh, because any sort of you spreading the term love around is a positive thing. It's a hopeful thing. It's caring objectives, and certainly I'm grateful for you to position yourself that way in helping the world be a better place.
Yeah, we all want this world to be a better place, and some days more than others, right?
Absolutely.
So, you have how many children, Phil?
So I have a boy and a girl, and they're now adults. One is 26, and one is 22.
Excellent. And I'll come back to my other question after. So, because your children are that age, right? You did a lot of work to get them ready for in planning for their college and their career, right? So, do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I was in a guidance counselor meeting and with my son in 10th grade. It was back in 2014, and the and the guidance counselor was in front of other parents and students and said it's never too early to start planning for college. So this was a great time for me and my son to work on a project together to help him because he's never done it before. And I certainly have done this, but not based on the experience that I have now to know that there's a thorough analysis needed as opposed to the very limited activities that I did to plan for college. The onus was on me to figure this out. And I didn't want my son to have the disadvantage that I did in not knowing. So I spent 2.5 years with him, helping him go. We visited 17 different colleges, gathered
Wow.
all this information and data, and it was at the end of the day, within a few weeks of that May 1st decision, we knew which one he was going to go to, and I even tempted him while he was at school to say, "Hey, are you interested in another one?" No, he was dedicated. He was thriving at his school. There was no looking back, and he completed in 3 years for his degree.
Wow. And that's so important because today, I mean, or even back then when I went to school, I didn't know where I wanted to go. I went to college just to get away from home.
The
So
escape.
grateful to be away from home. But it wasn't the right path because it was in pure and applied sciences, and that was definitely not my forte. And we've known each other for a couple of years, more than over 2 years now. So, and collaborate together. And I just think that it's so important when we want to take a direction to find the people who can support us, right? So I'm supporting people to tune back into their self-love, find their inner wisdom. And one of my main tools is Snap Tap Zap. And I know that you've tried the Snap Tap Zap. Phil, do you want to share your experience with it?
Yeah, so Christine does this wonderful job to reduce the stress of everyday life by just doing this process, and it really relaxes my shoulders. So it's really delightful. I could just feel my shoulders are already heavy, and then I'm talking to Christine, and now they're getting lighter. And I'll do a little tapping, and so she's educated me on this, and it absolutely works and is very helpful. And it's something that we don't do in schools. So kids are missing out, teachers are missing out, and that's an environment where you need it. So it's really important. And what's interesting is they do this in India, and the kids don't appreciate it until they move on in life. And then there's no regulation, there's no meditation, and they're missing it. And so it's one of those things where parents can know best, the teachers could know best. And this is something that I hope that goes across the Americas and Canada to implement meditation and stress management for students, especially in today's world. They are in the spotlight every single day with the world of social media, and they really need an outlet to relax and gather their thoughts and improve their mindset. That's for sure.
Oh, yes. And imagine if you had learned this like when you were 5 or 10 years old, the power this would have had in your life. It's like so amazing, isn't it, to just think that you can just take the weight off your shoulders and just be calm because you did the snap, tap as you breathe in, relax, and zap that out.
Feels so much better.
Yeah. And because we've done it so much, doing it just once now, we have instant results. Most people take 2, 3, but now that those of us, and I have Christian here who is here, give me a second to bring him up, who loves the snap, tap, zap now, who has adopted it, right, Christian?
Yes, yes.
How are things going today?
Always great now. Always great now.
Excellent.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you have a 12-year-old who will be going to college eventually, don't you, Christian?
Well, I do have a 12-year-old. Will she be going to college eventually? We will see.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I love how you said that. We will see. What does she want? And this brings me to Phil, who has a process to help your children figure out. I think the first part, Phil, is do they want to go, or is it the parents imposing it?
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
And what is it? So I'm going to let you take it away, Phil, and help parents who are listening understand the process, right? From especially the first steps.
Yeah. So certainly students have this big decision to make. What are they going to do after 12th grade? And definitely surrounding themselves with people who could provide them with great intel. So this is something that is maybe new to parents, that they're generally counting on their kids to make these decisions, but they don't have the know-how. There's 25 skills that they need to make an informed decision. And so surrounding them with people who have these skills to better prepare them for this decision. And again, I didn't say prepare for college. It is preparing for life and careers. And the college decision is a career-related decision. And so not a lot of parents think in those terms, but it is absolutely a career decision. And it's because they're going to be learning certain skills and knowledge. And the question is, do you want them to spend time on something that they're not going to pursue? Or you want to make a better investment where the skills they are anxious to learn and excited to learn? Go ahead.
Let's pause there because this is very important, right? So the first 2 questions to ask yourself, I'm going to have you say them again, Phil, because they're so important.
So the questions to ask is, there's so many questions to ask, but the question is, are you preparing your daughter or son to make an informed decision at 12th grade and to plan ahead, to be proactive, to introduce them to professionals? And you too can be a role model by you sharing with your kids, listen, I'm going to an expert for financial advice. I'm going to an expert for a coach, for meditation, for stress management. I'm going to someone in my tax accountant because I want them to do the taxes because they do this for a living. And I can't be an expert in everything. And you're sharing that message to your kids to know that it's okay to not only use other people for their skills and talents, that you don't have to be an expert in anything. CEOs are not experts in everything, and they're counting on people too. So that's the one message. It's about surrounding them with professionals, and that exploration process is important because it's not easy to make a decision of what you want to do, what you want to learn, but that is something that it should be a goal for your kids to figure out what they want to learn, not what they want to do, what they want to learn, and assess their talents and skills as well along the way to see if there's a good match. And Christian's going crazy.
Because before we jump into does your kid, is he ready? And we brought this up yesterday, and it's been humming in my brain. We as parents cry and say, "Child, don't cry over spilled milk," but we yell and we're so. So I wanted to tie that in with our wonderful buddy Phil Vetrano from HELPipedia, but a wonderful human being, and the opportunity that I've had as a parent of four, already talking to even the youngest baby about what he wants to do, about being. But here's the beautiful part where I'm gonna connect the dots between Christine, is we let our littles explore and ask and do things without us. We encourage them, but we don't, like you said, force them. So when we listen to them, they may be it may be that, oh, I don't want to go to college. No, it's that there's something there that may not be equipped yet. So talking about something that maybe, but as a parent, if we don't exemplify calm, educational, informative decisions, if we say when they bring to us a pamphlet of any program in elementary, and yeah, that's fine. And then, oh, the teacher's this, oh, yeah, that'll be fine. And these small steps really add up, because my child 2 days ago, and I didn't share this yesterday, said, I make mistakes because I was telling him that I'm a dad. I'm not perfect. I'm learning, and I too make mistakes. So this was after the cup incident, by the way, Christine.
That's
So we said,
excellent, though. It's excellent. It's excellent because your child now knows how to self-regulate and is modeling you, right? So his brain is being trained to be able to acknowledge mistakes because you acknowledge them, to know that you need to self-regulate. He's learning, oh yeah, I have to self-regulate. I'm going into survival mode, and he's learning all this. And I'm sure, and all the other kids.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful that this is happening. And I'm sorry I interrupted you. Did you have one more thing you wanted?
No. I was just gonna go point back to Phil, what he mentioned, which is having these conversations with them, preparing them, introducing them, and by allowing yourself to be connected to folks like Phil, like Christine, by utilizing your communication in what you're doing, what your task is at hand, what you may have a challenge with. Boy, that one was a shocker when I talked to my daughter even this morning. And so I absolutely encourage what you just said, Phil, and I want to take a step and go back to and say, not that we are using people, right? Because some kids, and I'm telling you, they're sticklers with each word, but that, hey, I need help. So now I'm going to reach out to my accountant. I'm reaching out to, me and my wife talk about, different finances and bills and clients and stuff like that. But now we don't do it into hey, we don't talk about that stuff around the kids. No, it's a conversational thing. Hey, did we send this out? Did we send that out? And oh, we need to reach out to so and so, accounting or billing or customer, whatever it is. But they start seeing that and replicating. Go, wait, I can ask for help because my dad asked for help.
Yes. Yes. And there's so much more. I will have a
Yeah,
financial
I'm gonna
person
stop.
come in because that'll be really cool to, I won't go down that rabbit hole today.
Yeah.
But what I find, my daughter wanted to be what was it? A designer, clothes designer. And I wasn't sure it was the right thing for her, but I just said, what if you take a 2-week summer program? So she took a 2-week summer program and she said, I do not want to be in fashion, Mom. You know how those people are. They are not like me. I was like, wow. So I really think it's about, you said, what do they want to learn, not what they want to do. I would add, asking them often, what brings you joy?
Oh,
Because if you're asking them what brings you joy, they are following what they want to learn, aren't they? They're following their intuition in there. So keep going, Phil. I know you've got lots more tips, and we only have like another 10, 15 minutes left, not even.
Sure, sure. So I applaud Christian to emphasize the asking for help is okay. I can't emphasize this enough, that it is okay to ask for help. We can't be experts in everything, and you get different perspectives. So generally we surround ourselves with classmates and friends, but we're not making conscious decisions about their talents and skills and whether or not they're providing great advice or not. And so when you're counting on your friends for advice, for specific, especially your future, I would not utilize that as a good resource of knowledge to share with you what you should be doing and or what direction you should be taking. Go ahead.
I love that, because teens will often look for other teens for support, whether it be their career or their emotional support. But they're all in the same, they don't have all the resources that they need. And it's beautiful that you also do that in the career planning. Beautiful, Phil. Keep
Yes.
going.
Yep. So generally, the students want to be surrounded by their friends, and that's okay. There's joy in that. There's bonding in that. There's similarities in things in common that they will, whether it's sports, whether it's games, they just generally will be a kid and have fun.
Yes.
And then it's the mom and dad's role is to help them identify these exploration opportunities, the asking for help, and having goals for their future of learning and learning how to learn. And I think it was wonderful that you like, dad makes mistakes. It's okay. So we need that same culture to happen in the classroom, because there can be a lot of pressure in engaging in conversations about learning topics that they're interested in. And the peer pressure for asking questions in a class from the teacher can be really a lot of pressure. And it also could be, if made fun of, may halt their learning process, because they were discouraged in a classroom, and they'll learn from that they were made fun of, and then they're going to stop doing that again. And that's something we have to prepare them for, and certainly and get them up to speed that it's okay. Other students will think about, and there's the jealousy, there's the different agendas that they may have, and or it's just easy to make fun of other kids. So this is the pressure that students are going through, and it's impacting their learning process, especially if they're interested and intrigued about the topic that they want to learn more.
Yeah, that's really important. Go ahead.
As a parent, we also have to understand, as you said, is that we're not experts, but we also don't want to give over the task to somebody. And that's where I kind of got highlighted right now is there's a lot of talk about education, and we're talking about education and what's going on here. So I want to remind folks that this is why self-regulation is so beautifully important.
Mhm.
So beautifully important, because it allows you to speak to your child about an education that you may not have had. Your parents did not, your grandparents did not. So your sisters and your brothers and your uncles and your aunts. And so even culturally, it's not, oh, college, oh, no, you're going to get to work, you're going to blah, blah, blah. Or, that, save that for that in itself, because of our parents. And I know you said that the parents, they're supposed to roles, right? But sometimes, Phil, we don't have parental roles or anyone there. So the self-regulation for those parents that are having these conversations, you're going to make mistakes. That's okay. Give yourself a pat in the back, because it's a difficult conversation to have. So now with self-regulation, you can now come to a conversation about something that is unknown or wasn't prepared for you at one point, and how beautiful it is to be able to support your child in their even development of, is a college or a vocational, a
Mhm.
skilled,
Mhm.
whatever program, is that the right thing for me? And so these are the things in preparing conversations and preparing dialogue in self-regulation. Because one thing that is really upsetting me in this, and why I brought it up, we're blaming schools and faculty and staff and professionals for our educational system, when it has minor. We are parents. We are with them all the time, although we don't teach them the elementary school things and the middle school things and the high school things. We're their supportive, and we're supposed to be their support system. And if our kids are not learning, then how are we not communicating and understanding that already before they get to a high school level and before they reach out to Christine? So understand that as parents, we do a lot on a daily basis where you can start preparing your little one, Christine's help, Phil's help, and to start looking at what their interests are, what their things that are educationally joyful that are coming to. And as you said, is maybe not to, and not to discourage them from speaking about it in class, but by self-regulation, Phil, I've taught my kids to be more confident and secure, to where they make mistakes in front of their classroom, and instead of breaking down as they did just weeks ago, now they're able to comfort and speak and articulate. And so that's why I'm like, wait, let's connect the dots here.
Yes.
Self-regulation.
And as parents, when our kids come up with things that they want to do that we have not perceived as something successful, not good for them, we need to self regulate, because otherwise we will say, you can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. You're going to fail at this. And in the end, it's our words that weigh on them, right? Phil, I have a quick question. What age would you say is a great age to start looking at um, the career planning?
Yeah, so definitely the summer before ninth grade is a wonderful time for them to work with a coach like myself, or start work with the parents to develop a plan of action associated with the goals that we identified today. Is one of the goals is, what are they going to learn and study,
Mhm,
because this activity can be aligned to some of the school curriculum
mhm.
and some of it may not be. So the question is, how are you going to address the gap? So fashion design may not be in the school offering.
No.
So you have to go on the outside looking for support. And Christine, wouldn't it have been beneficial if we knew somebody who was in the fashion design
Yeah.
to introduce to your daughter the industry and what it's like and all the different roles and responsibilities? Oh my goodness, that could have been eye-opening for her.
Yes.
Say, oh, now I can look at this program, even with the individual. See,
Yes.
is this for me? And maybe she would have taken a different direction as part of, because the fashion industry is big. There's lots of different jobs and
Yeah.
responsibilities. And she dabbled into it with that 2-week
Yes.
program. She
Yeah.
recognized this is not for me, but it was only that window that
I agree with you, because she's very creative, and she might have been, you might have, having somebody like you might have helped her see, oh, your creativity can be applied here, 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 and here. And I know that you offer high school students, excuse me, some internships. And that is so important. Like, bring your child to work day, but there's also, so many different professionals that you're able to team these children, these teens up with somebody that knows what it's like, or they can observe the day, but also, what all the possibilities are, especially because of all the research you did for your own children, right?
Yes, and it's so my surrounding myself with so many different professionals, and that they know what I do, and I'm having the conversations. I may introduce you to a student who's interested in your journey, in your career. So I just connected a student I'm working with. She's on the fence with 4 or 5 things, and so one of the people I introduced her was a mental health worker, and she works in the schools. And so she got that window of
Yeah.
what it's like to be a psychologist for students, and all the different programs that she works on. Now she's got a connection, and now she's gonna. Now I said, hey, at the end of the call, I said, hey, let's ask Kim. Kim, do you have other people who don't work in the school system that
Mm.
the student could now meet to get another perspective of a mental health professional in a different environment? So this is how it works. But parents don't generally want to or explore this activity because they weren't taught this way. And go
I
ahead.
think they're not even thinking of it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we,
yeah.
and
Because
yeah,
the bottom line is here. This is networking.
yes.
And networking is not taught in the schools. And then people have ideas about what networking is, and they don't really know how it works. And
Mm,
it's about relationships. It's about helping each other. It's about the ripple of love, caring about each other and their success.
yeah.
So I share with students, this is important. You don't know how much power you have
Mm.
because you're not using it.
I love that. I'm gonna write that in here.
They feel like they're powerless. They don't know what what they can actually get from incredible adults who would provide them with lots of different opportunities, lots of knowledge, lots of experience, lots of connections. And I said, once you're no longer a student, you're going to lose some of your power, because the adult talking to an adult is just like a solicitation, and what do they want from me, kind of that attitude. But you, as a student, you have uh, pathways that you have no idea that you could go down to learn more.
Yeah.
I wanted to pause and say we are teaching our kids networking is bad.
So I,
We teach our kids because you got to remember, don't talk to strangers.
yes, yes, but that's not so.
Give me a
I don't
second.
think
Give me a
I don't
second.
think parents are
In
actually
regards
teaching.
to it, but we reframe that by making sure that we tell them and to keep them safe. So we have to as parents have that clear understanding. What we say is not what I mean. Wait, that doesn't make sense. So then what are you saying and what do you mean? This is why I wanted to just quickly pause, because I, as an expert communicator in sales, um, did not carry over
Mhm.
to my wife, to my kids. And when I say expert communicator in sales and training and all that stuff, means absolutely nothing, because as you just mentioned, Phil, is that it is a solicitation. When I'm clearly communicating sales and training and all that stuff, trust me, I fly through it. But when I'm sitting with my little one, with my now teen, it's a whole different dynamic that I did not begin to understand before self-regulation and before folks like yourself. So I wanted to pause that in there because I know you as experts, you just crawl right through it. But as us as adults, us as parents, in the trenches, we're going, hey, wait. I know that was clear for you and that was super easy for you. But wait. So I wanted to remind that. Thank you, folks, and I'll leave you and stop interrupting. But have a great
Okay,
rest of
thank
your
you.
day.
Yes,
Thanks,
you too,
Christian.
Christian. Thank you. And I want to add, when we say as parents, don't talk to strangers, how does your child's brain register that? And I think that's the part that's very interesting, is how that child's brain. And I think that links to what Christian was saying is, oh, can't talk to strangers, so you're not networking, right? When you need to be learning to networking, but that thought in the back of your head that's rolling is really, do you, we've already gone over time. Maybe we'll have to have you again, Phil, to get more information. Or if you want more information with Phil, leave me a link that people can connect, and I'll put it in the explanations. And we'll have people reach out to you to get so much more, because, and I'm so grateful you were able to come and share this, because those years, those teen years where we put pressure on our children to choose, the school puts pressure, parents put pressures, the aunts, the uncles, everybody's like, oh, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't know. I have no clue what I want to do. Nobody asked me, what do you love to do? So perfect. I will add this as well into the description so people can reach you, Phil, and connect with you. And excellent.
So,
Book an appointment. Yes, that's very good. Okay, go for it.
yeah, so definitely what Christian says, I actually share this with students too. The don't talk to strangers thing. After 8th grade, the message to them is talk to as many professionals as possible. And that's the message that you should be sharing to your kids. And because the world has gone virtual, it is now easier to connect with a lot of different professionals, and you don't have to worry about travel. You don't have to worry about the physical presence of an adult with your student. So this is something is really a game changer, and it may encourage them to learn more from adults. And they're not going to be hired by their classmates. They're going to be hired.
No, definitely not going to be hired by their classmates. And 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 what are some of the quick tips, 2 or 3 tips, so that they can really understand the difference between stranger and a professional? Like, do you have some guidelines that you give them to support them in, for parents who are worried? Like, what could they say to their teens to support their teens?
So there's a variety of ways to reach out to a professional. It is either through someone you know, like myself. I can introduce you to like 2,000 different people. Or you are reaching out in your neighborhood,
Yes.
to identify, hey, my son or daughter is interested in veterinarian. You're looking at your local business from a veterinarian perspective to reach out to them. There's a level of trust. They're in business for this. That's not a stranger. They are supporting the community. They're doing the right thing. And that's something that's safe as well. So you have those connections with anybody you want. And LinkedIn is powerful to utilize those connections to find those professionals with a career that they are continuously promoting and or operating in. Like doctors aren't promoting themselves on LinkedIn generally, but you can definitely connect with a person who knows a doctor that you could be introduced to if you were interested in the health profession business.
Yeah, I love that. And I would add, in the beginning, instead of just throwing your teen out onto the road with this, you can say, would you like me? Would you like me to, do a few of these, especially if it's online, so that you as a parent can look through and see if there's anything? Because I mean, today, it's good to help them see. Did you notice that? See how this person responded? They show a lot of respect, and this person, so that it's. I find that's a good way if you're feeling insecure, and of course, snap, tap, and zap to self-regulate while you're doing this, so that you're not putting restrictions on your teen, so that they feel free to follow the direction that they love. And sometimes they might want to be a gamer, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's the worst thing to be, is a gamer. However, they might look at it and see and think, oh, they're not playing the game if they're the gamer, are they? There might be many things behind that. So it's really looking. And I know Phil has worked with some students who wanted to be into the gaming. I don't know if they chose that in the end or if they chose something else, but just know that it's okay. And I think Phil's an awesome resource. I've worked with an intern that wanted to know more about some of my business, and he was a great help, and I loved working with the intern, and the intern had a great experience. So it's really cool to have these opportunities. So without further ado, I have a lot. What are you most grateful for, Phil, today, or generally in life?
Oh no, I'm grateful that I'm connected with a lot of people like you who care about educating the world and learning new things, and really it can be an impact for folks to utilize your technique. And I'm grateful for you having me on the podcast. What are we doing? We want to set up kids for success. We want to set up parents for success.
Yes.
And it's not easy. Parenting is not easy. And so the more people that you're surrounded with who have expertise in teens and parenting, the better off you are, because we're not going to parenting school. And so that's our disadvantage, that there's a lot of strategies that you may not be aware of that can be tremendously helpful.
And two things that you said. So first was, doesn't it reduce the stress for the teens to work in that kind? Because then they have this, they know they've experienced things. And the second thing, when you said we don't go to parenting school, but there are many, many, many tools on HELPipedia. And I'm so excited I'm just naming it. HELPipedia is written here right under Phil's name. Go check it out. There's a lot of professionals that are part of HELPipedia, which is a nonprofit organization. And Phil's a co-founder. Amazing. That's how I met him, through HELPipedia. Excited to be part of that. I've never mentioned that. That's in And More with Christine. So have a great day. We've gone way over time. Hope it was valuable. Thank you so much, Phil. And thank you, everyone. And please comment below what it is that you like the most. And the Ripple Effect of Love for Dads and Family private program is starting very soon. So please click the QR code and join me if you want to leave a legacy of love for your kids and you want more private help. This is what this is all about. Thank you so much, and take great care of yourself.